Welcome everybody here to the Sports Talk Network channel. Welcome here to Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Welcome here to the podcast we do each and every Thursday. And this one being a big one, Money in the Bank, the third best, at least in my opinion. I'm not speaking for others, just speaking for myself. Third best WWE pay-per-view event on the whole dang season, I call it. So, well, it's going to be a great pay-per-view. Looking forward to it. Looks pretty stacked. The NXT show in itself also looks stacked and good as well. But I do think, again, my opinion, that Money in the Bank, in the end, when Monday morning comes or it's late Sunday night, people will be saying on Twitter that Money in the Bank, some will, Money in the Bank was better than NXT Chicago. So let's really see if that actually happens. Some people will defiantly say, heck no, that's a bunch of BS. But for me, hopefully, MITB will be better than the NXT show, as it should be. You have its main roster versus your NXT development. Your main roster and your WWE will always be better than your developmental NXT. So that's just how it should be. It's not always the case, of course, in past pay-per-views with Saturday and Sunday. And before I keep rambling on, let's welcome my, not guest, but co-host, Kyron Chase. How are you doing, Kyron?
What's up, Steve? And what's up, everyone viewing? It's great to be back on the Wrestling Ramble. And I'm ready to get started. You got two big shows this weekend, and I'm just ready to get let's go.
Let's go. I know, like I said, my hype level is ready and revving and going. So let's start with, of course, we're doing Money in the Bank. That's what we're predicting. So we'll start off with the kickoff match. The SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. The Bludgeon Brothers facing off as the Good Brothers. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. How do you see this going down here in the kickoff show?
Well, since Santa Fe put on a kickoff show, it doesn't matter much. I'm going to go with the Bludgeon Brothers to retain.
Yeah, same here. Bludgeon Brothers, would make the best and the most sense to have Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson win the tag team titles. Not at this point yet. Bludgeon Brothers I think WWE's just having them, Gallows and Anderson, being the first ones to get a shot at the Bludgeon Brothers and maybe building up to somebody else or even them to get the titles, but later on, SummerSlam or beyond. I was ready for someone to be getting the tag team titles there on SmackDown Live. Next up should be a pretty simple one to predict as well. Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn in the one-on-one contest. How do you see this match going?
Well, coming off the heels of one of the worst feuds WWE's done in a long time, with some of the worst segments WWE's done in a long time, I can tell you this match, I hope it's going to at least be a good match to make up for everything we've gone through. I'm picking Bobby Lashley, obviously, to win because Sami winning would not really matter in terms of the storyline and the reason this feud exists. So I'm going with Bobby to win.
Yeah, I'm going Bobby as well. I think this one's the easiest one to predict. Makes sense to have him win. I would be shocked and surprised if Sami Zayn won in any way. As in even having Bobby Lashley win with DQ or something like that. I don't need to see this feud continue. I don't want to see this feud continue. And if the rumors are correct, Bobby Lashley to be the one to face Brock Lesnar. Now, whether he wins and loses, we'll talk about that. If that match actually happens at SummerSlam for the Universal title, then you got to have Bobby Lashley win in good, quick fashion against Sami Zayn. We don't need another match at the next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules. Just get it done and over with here. Bobby Lashley getting a win. Though I do say the match will be over 10 minutes. I don't know. 12. But it'll be at least over 10 minutes, but still Lashley getting the win. This match could, you never know, with these two great competitors, could steal the show, but it is the simplest one to predict for me.
Honestly, for their sakes, I mean, you would think it should be a squash, but I think that would definitely wasting Sami Zayn in a squash match. I know they want to get Bobby, make Bobby look good, but the problem with that is Sami, even as bad as feud has been, you got to give Sami credit for doing this damage to make everything work. And I think making this a squash would kind of be like disrespectful to his hard work. But I do agree. Give it a little bit, like 13 minutes, and maybe on any other card this might be able to steal the show. But with two Money in the Bank ladder matches, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to, glass half full instead of glass half empty with this feud and with this match. Now I already gave my stuff and thoughts on the feud itself, where I wanted to just end it here at Money in the Bank in Chicago, Illinois on Sunday. But at least for the match itself, at least give it some positive thinking, at least for me, power positivity, right? Like the New Day. That I do think is going to go over 10 minutes as it should. It could steal the show. But you're right, though. With two Money in the Bank ladder matches, and this being a pay-per-view that I love and enjoy, and I always ramble on, whether it's on this actual program or on Twitter, about how good this pay-per-view has been for last couple of years and overall in general, because I like the idea of the Money in the Bank, and I've liked it since its inception in WWE at WrestleMania many years ago. But it's certainly going to be interesting to see how it does go, because like I said, I'd be shocked if Sami Zayn does win. But if Sami Zayn does win, that I think that means to me, not only will we have a match at Extreme Rules, we'll have a third match at SummerSlam. If we're going to have a third match at SummerSlam, well, then obviously Bobby Lashley is taken with a match at SummerSlam. He will not be the one facing Brock, which then in the end probably will process of elimination, simple elimination, Roman Reigns, the big dog, being the one to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam and win the WWE Universal Championship, and everybody will have to deal with that. Or as Batista used to do, hashtag, deal with it. But either way, moving right along, and we're going to go into the Intercontinental Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Elias. Where do you see this one going? Because I wouldn't be shocked to see Elias win, but I don't know. Where do you think it'll go?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Elias win. And finally, this is actually a match I'm really looking forward to, because love the work of both guys. I think this is a perfect feud. The Intercontinental title should be on a great baby face, Seth Rollins, and a very good heel on Elias, who gets good heel heat. So I think this could be definitely a pretty good match. I am picking Seth Rollins to win, though, because I just don't see him taking the title off of him yet. If he challenges Brock Lesnar for the title at SummerSlam, even though it's probably going to be Reigns, I can see him dropping the title at maybe Extreme Rules, but Seth is at least holding it for another month through one more pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree there. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins as well to retain the championship. I guess I'm a little bit surprised. I guess Jeff Hardy was injured, but still, overall, was surprised. Jeff Hardy and the U.S. title, the United States Championship, will not be defended here. Again, big pay-per-view here, now being a big five, being Money in the Bank, blah, blah, blah. As I always say, you're going to have the IC title being defended, but not the U.S. But again, as I also said, he's injured, or was injured, just came back recently. They didn't want to just throw a match there for the title, though they could. You never know, pre-show. There could be other matches added to the pre-show, a.k.a. kickoff show, and that one being one of them. Like I said, we'd like to see that title being defended. Though if it's just going to be thrown to the wall, as it's called, then you have Jeff Hardy obviously retain whoever it's up against, Randy Orton or whoever. So there we go. At least my thoughts there for the mid-card championships. And for my predictions, which I forgot to do because I was just getting Kyron's, the Intercontinental Championship match we were just talking about, I'm going with Seth Rollins to retain. Elias, I think he's actually a character like other people have said about Bray Wyatt, a superstar and a character that really doesn't need to win championships, though he is Bray Wyatt is former WWE champion in his own right. But with Elias, and me being more of a fan of Elias over Bray Wyatt, I do still say that his character and how over he has gotten, or at least it seems to me through my eyes, that I don't think he definitely needs to win the championship. Though I have heard people say he should win the championship to, be like the Honky Tonk Man, or in that way, since he is with singing and kind of that kind of guitar playing gimmick. Well, okay, I respect that, I understand that, and I'm not saying you're wrong. Obviously, no one's really wrong. It's everybody's opinion. But for me, I think that it would be better for Elias, at least for now, and have him not win the championship here at Money in the Bank, not win a championship here for a little bit, but still having to build up to a point of maybe him winning the championship after WrestleMania next year in 2019. Maybe that would be the time for him to be winning championships and going from there, at least in the championship hierarchy. I would detest Bobby Lashley. I predict in that match. And in the kickoff match, I had the Bludgeon Brothers as well. I'm just making sure in case I did forget to say my end of it. Next match on deck here, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass one-on-one. This one is kind of a toughie for me, seeing how it's been built. Plus, you have Daniel Bryan in a match, and kind of like Roman Reigns, or and some people would say John Cena, when they're in a match, it's hard to go against them because of their popularity and other factors. So where do you go in this one? Do you have Big Cass actually pulling off a surprising victory if it did happen?
To be fair, I really don't care about this match. And like I said, for Backlash, you said when a match features someone I love as much as Daniel Bryan, it's a match I really just couldn't care less about. But I'm going with Big Cass because I think, Daniel got Backlash. Cass is going to get Money in the Bank. And if WWE is foolish enough to stretch itself a third pay-per-view, which they are, which would be Money in the Bank, they got to give Cass a win, because if they go into Money in the Bank and Daniel's up 2-0, that defeats the purpose. So I'm going to go with Cass to win, but I would not be surprised if Daniel won and just ended the feud right here.
All right. And for me, I'm going with Daniel Bryan to get the win here. I just don't see Cass getting a win. This feud could even be over right here or on Sunday, right then. Just have a Daniel Bryan sweep it. Backlash and now here Money in the Bank. So it would be interesting in that regard here with the first two pay-per-views that are co-branded. So that's where I'm going with that one. Moving forward, Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal, modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal against Roman Reigns, the big dog. Who you have winning in this? Certainly going to be interesting to see how the crowd reacts type of match with Reigns and Mahal.
I'm not going to go Chainsaw Massacre on this match because I just don't want to give it that type of energy. I'm going to go with Reigns, obviously. And I'm going to answer your second question. How's the crowd going to react? Well, let's see. You got two people, Reigns, who you hardcore fans do not like, Jinder Mahal, who most people don't like, and you put this in a match in Chicago. Yeah, it won't be pretty. If you thought the fans, killed the main event of Backlash with someone they actually liked in Samoa Joe, this match will, and this has nothing to do with my feelings against either man. This match is going to be a disaster. Even if it is good, I mean, I don't have the highest hopes for it, but then I don't have my highest hopes for the show in general. Knowing Chicago the way I do, I wouldn't be surprised if straight out of the gate it starts hijacking. But I'm picking Reigns because I just don't see them giving the win to Jinder Mahal over Roman Reigns, even with the help of Sunil Singh. But in terms of crowd reaction, I don't like this match's chances.
Yeah, I understand. Like, you probably get a lot of CM Punk chants or other chants during the match because they're just not interested at all. And with the hatred of both superstars and for different reasons, Reigns because he's the guy, Jinder because they saw him as a failed champion, WWE champion, and otherwise, it's going to be interesting to see where the crowd goes, especially if the crowd goes cheering for Jinder, right? You know how much of a hatred for Roman Reigns there is out there in the WWE universe, especially being in a wrestling city like Chicago, Illinois, home of CM Punk. Which, by the way, CM Punk fans, I just want to let you know now, CM Punk is not going to be at the pay-per-view. Okay, he will not be there. But anyways, he still will get the CM Punk chance and all that. It probably will be during this match, and I'm going to go predict Roman Reigns. Though I'd be pleasantly surprised if it was Jinder Mahal. Of course, as a fan of his, but I'm going with Roman Reigns as well. And moving right along now to the WWE Championship match because I'm going to do. Well, actually, no. We're going to do the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. That one's the one we're going to do now. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Lana, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, the goddess of WWE, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, Ember Moon, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and the legit boss, Sasha Banks. Here for the 8 women, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown Live here for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So, Kyron Chase, you're up to bat. Who do you see winning the women's Money in the Bank ladder match?
This is more think, not want, as usual. Who do I want? I want either Becky to win because she's my favorite, or Ember to win because I think from Raw she's probably the most interesting. Not to carry it because Alexa's she's a 4-time women's champion. She don't need it. Sasha obviously is the best women's worker on Raw, arguably, but she's not going to win. Charlotte, once again, same thing with Alexa, doesn't need it. I just don't. Lana, no. Billy Kay. Wait, no, not Billy Kay. I'm sorry. Who else was in it from SmackDown? Naomi. Yeah, no.
Naomi, Natalya.
Naomi, I just don't see it. I want Becky to win or I want Ember Moon to win. But who do I think? Because this is going to lead to later on in the night, Natalya. And I'm going to save my reasons for why I picked Natalya when we get to the Raw Women's title match. But I think Natalya's going to win.
All right. And for me, I'm actually going to go with, obviously, someone you said definitely not going to win, of course. But I'm actually going to go with the goddess of WWE, Alexa Bliss. I have Alexa Bliss winning this to just see it. And this is what I always say each and every year, beyond saying that your championship matches should be after the Money in the Bank ladder matches for the unknown, and if there will be a cash in the same night, even though it doesn't have to happen every year. But also I say the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Miss Money in the Bank or Mr. Money in the Bank, either one, should be a heel and has been most of the time. And has facts, stats, and that stuff, and just hashtag facts show that the heels that win the Money in the Bank briefcase not only are the ones successful because the faces that we've seen on the men's side that did have it, like John Cena, were unsuccessful, and they are and do the best with said briefcase and the unpredictableness and just the times when they do cash in, make it more interesting and the most entertaining, I would say, as well. So just think about it and just picture in your mind, if you will, of Alexa Bliss holding that briefcase on Monday Night Raw, being the heel that she's been, and seeing her with that briefcase each and every week. Not saying she's going to T's cashing in each and every week, but still her as the briefcase holder. I think she's going to do as well as the inaugural Miss Money in the Bank, my gal Carmella, over on SmackDown Live, and now current WWE SmackDown Live Women's Champion. I think Alexa Bliss, as the first woman that it was SmackDown Live Women's and Raw Women's Champion, all that other stuff, I think Alexa Bliss can really, well, obviously, all of them can really benefit for being it, but who do I think actually deserves it the most? I agree with you with Becky Lynch. But for my prediction, I am going with Alexa Bliss. And welcome, Mark Ramble. How you doing?
Fellas, can you hear me?
What's up, bro? We can hear you loud and clear.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Not much.
For the matches we already went through, and I'll give you one by one and let you speak on them. First, we already talked about the kickoff match, Bludgeon Brothers versus the Club. What do you have winning there for the SmackDown Live taking titles, Mark?
All right, so you see, in a perfect world, I would choose the Club, but I don't mind the Bludgeon Brothers winning. I'm not gonna say they're bad because they're not bad at all, really. I actually really enjoy watching them. I really enjoy what they're doing. I haven't really been seeing them though, however, on SmackDown Live, which recently in the past couple of weeks has kind of been a slight issue with me, but I got the Bludgeon Brothers winning this one. This isn't going to be over just yet. But for right now, the Bludgeon Brothers are going to retain those tag titles.
All right, next up for you, Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. How do you see that one going down?
What a simple prediction. Of course it's going to be Bobby Lashley winning this. I mean, if it isn't, then why did you even sign this man in the first place? His role already has already been a bust in the case. They need to make him a heel. That's plain and simple. He's already a better heel than he is a face because he's not getting over as a face, as we all can see. All can see. He's not doing anything.
The crowd in Chicago will not be on his side. I just want to point that out now. Because the hardcore fans will gravitate towards Sami Zayn. And also because Sami has been the only one from the two who I can say is actually trying his best to make this work.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Bobby Lashley winning this one, though, however. But it's not going to be an easy night for Bobby because he's going to get booed the mess out of.
Wait till you get to the next match.
The next match we have is the Intercontinental Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Elias.
Oh.
Mark?
This one, I want to walk with Elias one day, but Elias, I don't think we're going to take that stroll this week. Elias is not going to win anytime soon. Elias might. Oh, actually, sorry. I forgot who we're dealing with. Elias, the same one that was trash talking CM Punk pretty much at one point. He's gonna get booed out of the arena.
Good, he's a heel.
But he's really gonna get booed this time. I mean,
that's the point.
That should be interesting. I'm really intrigued to see what he's gonna say because I think he might mention something in regards to CM Punk. But I have Seth Rollins getting this one. I would not mind them if they didn't, like, if they had this feud continue, because I personally like it. But yeah, my boy Seth Rollins is going to get it.
All right, moving right along for you, Mark. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass.
Oh, man. Honestly, there's like this side, there's like a who cares side, and then there's also let me give this match a shot. I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan on this one, only to the simple fact because Daniel Bryan has so much momentum going on to him right now. But from what I've been told, this may not be the last match of their feud, which makes me believe that Big Cass might actually win this one. I don't want Big Cass to win this one at all because I personally cannot stand Big Cass. But I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan anyway for safe measures because my guy D Bryan, D Bizzle, go face. But yeah, Daniel Bryan, he's definitely winning this one.
All right, the next one we have Big Dog Roman Reigns against modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Reigns versus Mahal. Who do you have winning that one, Mark?
Jinder Mahal, you already know what the deal is.
Stop acting like a fool.
It's like nah. Yeah, Roman Reigns is gonna get this one. Roman Reigns, he's what everybody says he is. He's the big dog, I guess. Unfortunately, I would like to see my man's Jinder win it, but his time is not now, and he's gonna get fried. He's gonna get destroyed, whether people like it or not. He's gonna lose. So I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. One of the very few times I actually go against my boy Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja himself. But he's not winning anytime soon. So Roman Reigns for sure.
All right, in the match we were just finishing up, speaking about and predicting the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Mark Ramble, we have Lana, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Ember Moon, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. Who do you have winning?
You see, I would love Becky Lynch to win because she needs something to get herself back on track. But she's not gonna win. I think Natalya is gonna win because when I've been hearing, they're gonna try to do something with Natalya and Ronda Rousey. From what I've been hearing, so I'm gonna go with Natalya to win this one, and hopefully to make it even more interesting, she could cash it in that same night.
Damn it, Mark! You stole what I was gonna say later.
Oh wait, you gonna say that?
Yeah, that's why I was vague when I picked Natalya. I said because I got something to say for later on. Well, thanks a lot for ruining my prediction for later on.
Oh my bad, bro. I didn't even know.
It's all right. We'll just move into it right now. Then, anyways, the Raw Women's Championship match. Nia Jax, the champion, facing off against Ronda Rousey. So we'll let Kyron go first with that prediction.
Neither one of them is gonna win the match. Natalya is, because here's why. Let's look at this from let's look at this real quick. Ronda had never had a singles match, and for all we know, she still could be green in the ring. Nia is no ring general. You can't have Ronda get pinned, period, because if you want to build her up to face Charlotte in the main event next year, you can't have her lose at that Charlotte into Asuka's undefeated streak. What you can't do though is put the title on Ronda so soon because that will turn fans against her, especially in Chicago. What do? You have Natalya cash in her Money in the Bank, pinning Nia, and taking the title. That way, Ronda doesn't lose. Ronda doesn't get the title too early, and no one's upset really.
All right, Mark.
I agree 100%, my boy. I agree 100%. If anything, if none of that happened though, and I had to choose, it's definitely going to be I think Nia Jax who's going to win. If anything, because Ronda Rousey is just not there. There's no way you're going to give her a title shot in her first singles match and then at the same time win it. Like that would really upset a lot of people. So I'm going to go with, if anything, Nia Jax.
Well, if we're going with anything, then Ronda would win because they wouldn't dare have Ronda get pinned so early in her career. Think about it. This is the reason they have Ronda, and this is me looking at business real quick. Why they announced Ronda for this pay-per-view? Because they know they weren't going to have Brock on there, and they wanted people to see it. And who gets the most mainstream media attention? Ronda. You think they're going to have that many people tune in, especially casuals who don't watch WWE, tune into the show to watch Ronda lose? Nah. See, I mean, either she wins the title or Natalya catches and pinning Nia. Either Nia is not. If Nia, the only other way Nia walks away with the title is if she wins or if the match ends in a DQ. But even then, that's kind of risky ending a match in DQ or count out in Chicago. I mean, we saw last year at Backlash, Owens and AJ ended in a count out, and that was in Chicago, and the crowd was not very happy about that. No, so unless she gets counted out disqualified, there's no way Nia's walking out with that title.
I agree.
And for me, I'm going with Nia Jax to leave. You know, as I predicted for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, I have Alexa Bliss winning that. So I don't see a cash in happening. Maybe a tease after the match, but I have Nia Jax retaining the championship. I do see Natalya get involved, but not as the Money in the Bank holder. Just there to start up and actually turn back heel. Because remember, she was heel before she came over to Raw, with the Superstar shakeup, and then was we paired off with Ronda in a positive, in the being friends way. Then in order to way with a feud, like I thought was happening. So that feud probably will be happening. It will be happening after the events at Money in the Bank, but maybe not in the way you guys are predicting with Natalya winning said championship and then feuding with Ronda in that vein. I just see them feuding in a regular feud moving forward after Money in the Bank and Natalya costing Ronda a championship and Nia Jax getting the win and retaining and leaving Chicago as the Raw Women's Champion. And as we're still talking about the women, let's wrap it up with the third women's match, being the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. Carmella versus Asuka. Kyron Chase, who do you see getting the win here?
Asuka. And Asuka, and I can definitely see this match. But if WWE is smart, they would have Asuka not only win, but win a squash. Because let's be honest, whether you like Carmella or you don't, I'm not a huge fan. She's not on par with Asuka in ring in any way whatsoever. And they had Charlotte pin her at WrestleMania. They wouldn't dare have Carmella pin her. And so I'm sorry, but I just don't think I think Carmella is not going to beat Asuka. Once again, if she walks away, it'll be by count out disqualification. Because she ain't pinning Asuka, she ain't making a tap out. So I'm picking Asuka to take the title she should have won at WrestleMania.
All right, Mark.
Man, if Asuka does not destroy Carmella, I'm sorry. Asuka better destroy Carmella, man. This is so, this isn't even really a prediction. It's just foreshadowing. You just know it's going to happen, pretty much. There's no way. If Carmella wins, let's just think about this. If Carmella wins, I don't know who in their right mind thought that was cool or right in any sense. I'm going to go with...
Mark, there's a certain guy in WWE that works a production truck who doesn't like wrestling, who has gigantic teeth named Kevin Dunn. I'm pretty sure he will find that a good idea.
Yeah, gigantic teeth.
Hey, I could have said worse. I was thinking Bucky Beaver, but I already used that one.
Bucky Beaver. Oh,
I'm back, baby.
Yes, you are. And for me, Carmella is going to be leaving as well as champion, holding on to her title, just like Nia Jax over on Raw. Some way, Carmella to retain her championship, so her continue to be SmackDown Live Women's Champion, whether Fluke win, whether it's DQ or whatever kind of finish. See Carmella just walking out with her title and saying SmackDown Live Women's Champion. As I say, actually not going to be winning the title down the road, SummerSlam or otherwise, but right now here for Sunday and for Money in the Bank, Carmella retaining and keeping her championship. Now moving over to the men, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, Braun Strowman, The Miz, Rusev, Finn Balor, and a member of the New Day. We don't know which one yet. We'll find out when we get to that match. But who do you guys have win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match? Kyron.
Once again, I'm looking long-term booking here. First off, the member of the New Day is going to be in the Money in the Bank is going to be Big E, because I feel like he's the one who's going to have the most potential of all the New Day members, and he's the one who I think could be a world champion. So I'm going to say Big E is going to be in the match. Now, who do I think is going to win? I look at long-term booking here. I'm going to go with The Miz. One, he deserves it. Two, I know he already won a Money in the Bank before, but I think if you look around it, Miz makes the most sense. Let's look at this. Here's what I'm predicting. So I'm going to look at SummerSlam. The main event for the WWE title, Daniel Bryan's challenging for the title. Whether he wins, whoever's the champion at that point. Miz cashes in the middle of the match, wins the title, stops Daniel Bryan from winning the championship. You don't have Miz and Daniel Bryan really meet up until WrestleMania. After Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble, you have Daniel Bryan versus Miz for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania in the main event. That's a blow-off of a storyline that started back in 2016. It gives you a great heel, a great babyface, and it runs all the way up and gives you the perfect main event and the perfect storyline to end your biggest show of the year. Done.
All right, Mark.
We got the booking Kyron. We got the GM Kyron. We got the predictions, Kyron. We got all 5 shades of Kyron over here. I would personally love to see Samoa Joe win, but I don't think he really needs the Money in the Bank briefcase to really be a main event superstar or a wrestler in this case. But I really am strongly believing the Miz is gonna win, and it's gonna be one of those like really agitating, really kind of wins because the Miz is really like a pesky, irritating kind of heel at times, and that's what he's supposed to be because that's what he's good at. But yeah, I really think the Miz is gonna win this one. Because like what Kyron said, he deserves it really. Let's be honest. There's nobody consistently who has done as good as the Miz has done in a multitude of things: promos, matches, cuts, segments. It doesn't matter. You name it. The Miz has always been good at it. So I think I'm going to go with the Miz on this one.
And for myself, I'm going to go with a Raw Superstar winning this one. Just like I had Raw Superstar winning the women's Money in the Bank with Alexa Bliss. Here, I'm going with Kevin Owens to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
I would not mind that either.
And yeah, I know the Miz is being the heavy favorite, but I think it would make the most sense to have Kevin Owens be that. And I see the Miz maybe even getting into the U.S. title picture there with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy not even defending his championship this Sunday because he was injured and just actually came back this Thursday in the Go Home show for the pay-per-view. So,
but hold up, Steve. I got say something about your prediction. Not have a problem with us. I would love to see Kevin Owens hold the Money in the Bank. But you pick Alexa Bliss to win the women's Money in the Bank, and you're picking KO to win the men's. They're not going to put both briefcases on Raw. That's why I picked a Raw woman to win the women's and a SmackDown guy to win the SmackDown. I just can't see them putting both cases on Raw. That would break an immersion in a way because it's like you're already wondering who's going to cash in, when you're going to cash in. But if you put both people on that same show and think that, it's an overexposure of Money in the Bank. Like imagine if they both cash in around the same time. It hurts the big moment. I think putting one on SmackDown, one on Raw works better.
Yeah, no, I understand. And actually, in a regular time, I would actually agree with that. But I think in this situation, I differ only because of the participants that I have winning, for my predictions, Alexa Bliss and Kevin Owens specifically, and their story and how they would do as Mr. Money in the Bank moving forward and being on Raw. Now, I do see the biggest hiccup that people would bring up to me being, well, if you have a Raw superstar being Mr. Money in the Bank and Brock Lesnar's candy ass isn't on the show really ever on Raw, then when will they really have an opportunity to cash in? Well, that'll only be at the pay-per-views. Then again, Brock's barely at any of the pay-per-views, and the next one he's going to be at is SummerSlam. So I get that argument, but I just see that Kevin Owens, with him being the Money in the Bank holder, I think will probably, in the long run, make a triple threat match at SummerSlam. Like I see it being maybe even Fatal 4-Way. Fatal 4-Way would be better if you add Braun Strowman as well. But first you have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Then if you add Kevin Owens as the Money in the Bank holder and him going to be cashing in the middle of the match or before and announcing he's going to cash in. So that's not usually how heels cash in, but still, just for, this idea. And then maybe you have Braun Strowman as well. You have that big match at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship, and probably at that point you have Brock Lesnar dropping the title because he's going to be heading to UFC and happening in a couple of fights, not at least one fight there back in UFC. So at least for me, I see it. That's why I would have both, at least in this situation, both on Raw. Though in the overall thinking, I agree 100% with Kyron. It's best to have one on SmackDown, one on Raw. Still have the Money in the Bank really being those briefcases showcased each and every week on both shows, your A and B show. And especially when we get into the next season and next year when October hits and SmackDown Live is going to be on Fox and hopefully the regular Fox channel that everybody or most everybody is able to get their basic television. So that behooved WWE then to definitely have it on split. But there's in this situation here in 2018 for this Money in the Bank, I see it both being Raw. Now last year, obviously, it was both SmackDown Live because last year it was a SmackDown Live event. So that's just how it was after that point for that year in the season. But for this year being co-branded and in that vein, I think good to have the briefcase holders being on both Raw. Just combining last year both being on SmackDown Live because of that situation. So that's why I went in that way. And let's get to the main event, the final match here, of course, of the card. The WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. Let's send it over to Kyron. Who do you have winning this match and why?
First off, I don't even have this being the main event. I think that the men's Money in the Bank will be the main event. Who am I predicting to win? I'm gonna ask for, can I please get a great match between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, regardless of wins? That's all I ask for. Who's gonna win though? I'm picking AJ to retain. Now I know
my guy.
Hold up and hear me out. I know a lot of people will say, but Nakamura lost at WrestleMania cleanly. He did not win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He didn't win at Backlash. This is going to be his last chance. It is his last chance, and he won't win because OTR Central said it best. You think Vince is really going to trust an Asian guy with the WWE title? It's not happening. Here's what's going to happen. And it's a last man standing match. I think hopefully it'll be a great match. I think AJ wins. And then him and Shinsuke go their separate ways. Depending on how serious Jeff Hardy's injury is, you have Shinsuke feud with AJ. Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title. You have AJ feud with Samoa Joe for the WWE title. Let's be honest. If you watch TNA, you know how good a match between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe couldn't be. I would love that. So I think AJ will retain the WWE title. Move on from Nakamura, and Nakamura will feud with Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title.
All right, Mark.
I love AJ Styles. You guys know I love AJ Styles. But I don't think he's going to win this. I really don't think he's going to win this. And I think it completely differs from what you said, Kyron. I understand what you said, like, when it comes to the idea of, like, you really think Vince is going to trust this guy? That is a very good question. Do you think Vince is really going to trust this guy? I don't think so. But I feel like if Shinsuke doesn't win, then it'd be a waste of a match. This is just in my opinion. Because we've already had about 6, 7, 8, 9 matches, what it feels like. Backlash was... I do believe Backlash, they wrestled. Yeah, Backlash, they did wrestle this year.
Yeah, there was a qualification match that ended in the count out.
Yeah, and it's just been like so many hectic matches that they've had. It's like, either you're going to have to do it right or just don't do it at all. So I feel like this might just be the nail in the coffin. I think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win this, but it's not going to be easy. He might have to hit somebody in the crotch again.
Yeah, but the problem is this match is where my cup prediction will come true. He's gonna go for another hit to the balls. AJ's gonna be wearing the cup this time, and that's gonna backfire.
That would be sick. I would like that.
See, it's something. See, I would say Road Dogg is not smart enough to come up with that, but it's something so simple that even someone as dumb or right as Road Dogg can come up with.
Hey, chill, my man's bro, Dizzle.
No, I'm not gonna chill when it comes to Road Dogg. No way in hell am I gonna do that. I've unleashed all over. Let's be honest. Road Dogg is terrible. Actually, no, I forgot. I think I heard rumors he moved to Raw. That explains the.
That explains a lot.
That explains the Sami Zayn Bobby Lashley stuff.
That explains the NXT 2011 like Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley rivalry.
Exactly.
You got like an obstacle course like set up in the arena. Like
I don't know what they were thinking about.
That was terrible. The only good thing about that was I admit I was impressed with Bobby's skill and how fast he finished it. Even then, that was god awful.
It was bad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I still can't get over the fact they just like brought back like a freaking obstacle course. Like they had the Three Sisters thing, the obstacle course. Like they're gonna have a dance off like Naomi and Lana. Like Bobby Lashley's gonna be like, oh yeah, my 3 sisters, they all danced. They taught me how to dance.
Don't give them ideas.
Oh shoot, my bad.
The only thing I can think of to say is that Brian Zane from Wrestle Regret, he did make a point that might be true. I think he said yesterday in his Who Wore It Better video, WWE knows how bad the storyline is. I think they're just going to the point like they know it's bad, we know it's bad. they're just gonna go with as much ridiculous stuff they can do until Money in the Bank. Because to be honest, I have barely watched Raw over the last couple weeks, so I missed everything involving Bobby Lashley's sisters, and I did, and I'm glad I did. Because I heard how god awful it was, and I had not watched that segment yet. And I heard how I had to sit through the old day. I sat through Bailey, This Is Your Life. I ain't sitting through that one. I'm not sitting through that one.
Don't sit through it.
I
sat through it.
You have my pity. You have my sorrow and pity. So really, I just hope that after Lashley and Zayn have this match for Sunday, they don't have to cross paths again anytime soon.
Yeah, and WWE doesn't have to worry about using Gabe's idea for Lashley and Zayn, because I think this feud is going to be over at Money in the Bank. So I don't have to worry about any matches at Extreme Rules or SummerSlam or anything like that moving forward in that feud. But for the main event, for me, predicting, I have AJ Styles retaining the WWE Championship. No cash-in happening here. I have it main eventing the show. Because I don't see the men's main eventing. The women's probably going to start off the show. We have the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles being on the pre-show and then the other matches as well. Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal, they might be great WWE superstars, but they sure as heck are not going to be main eventing the pay-per-view. So
isn't the pay-per-view in Chicago?
Yes, it is.
And we got a match with Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal.
Don't say your breath, bro. I already beat you to that one. I already beat you to that.
Yes, the big dog versus the Manda de Maharaja, one-on-one there in Chicago, Illinois. Not for any championship, but I guess whatever, bragging rights moving forward. So it certainly would be. I mean, if WWE just wants to troll people, they can have it as the main event. I mean, think about the
they want everyone to walk out.
No, here's the thing though, and the sad thing, Steve. Usually, I would call you out on that, but the sad thing is, I can surely see it being the main event. I mean, let's be honest. Roman Reigns had no business main eventing Backlash over the WWE title. And I'm being serious. Knowing because WWE has the hard on they do for Roman Reigns, and they would be dumb enough to have that match main event. The only reason, and this is a small reason, because you look at that last two pay-per-views, WrestleMania, Backlash, and it's not just Roman Reigns' fault. No, it wasn't. But you had the storylines you do with Roman Reigns leading into it. And you had the slow-paced action that was Reigns and Joe. You had the slow-paced action that was Lesnar and Reigns and multiple finishes. The crowd easily got restless and easily got bored. And you know how I feel about Jinder Mahal. But he works a slow-paced, methodical pace as well. Reigns cannot gel with that well. And if you have, the crowd's going to hijack this match, whether it starts, is in the middle, or in the end. But if you have that main event, do you really want them wrestling in front of a crowd of almost nobody?
I predict that if it's the main event, then the only people in the crowd will be the ones throwing the beach balls. Yeah, like I can kind of see them putting it as the main event, but I feel like if they're like smart enough, if they have an IQ of at least like 10, then okay, never mind. It's gonna be the main event. People are gonna walk out because they think that this is just gonna be like CM Punk, John Cena too, because they think that Reigns and Jinder are like top caliber stars like Cena and Punk were at the time.
How dare you try to, I know you didn't mean it, but don't do that to one of the greatest WWE matches that they ever produced. Try to compare Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns to that. You're gonna have this show bombarded with hatred saying
yeah, no, I don't mean it like at all. I'm just thinking that if they were to put that as the main event, I'm thinking that that's what's going through their head. Like,
if they both were in Chicago, they probably might think that.
And speaking of rumors flying of what match should be the main event, I always say for any pay-per-view that has the WWE Championship match or have a championship match, which usually is every single one. But point being is that match should be the main event because that is your number one title in the gosh darn company. Why not have that championship match being the number one match or being the main event match each and every time?
I don't remember the last time the WWE Championship was in the main event, and that's sad. I think it was Fastlane.
It was Fastlane. But to be honestly, I'm with you. I mean, and let's even get more specific. I'm not since the brand split 2.0, When was the last time the WWE Championship main evented a cross-brand pay-per-view?
It's always been Universal Championship. Like, it always has.
I mean, you look at it, since then, we've had multiple cross-brand shows. You had Survivor Series 2016 was the first. The men's elimination match ended, but the US and Universal Championship, both champions win that match. WrestleMania, which was Reigns and Undertaker, but to be fair, Wyatt and Orton ended it would have been much better. SummerSlam, I mean, Royal Rumble doesn't count because that was the Royal Rumble. What was next? SummerSlam 2017 Universal title match. I mean, that was the better option. Survivor Series, same thing, men's elimination match. Royal Rumble this year was the women's Royal Rumble, makes sense, but the WWE Championship, the curtain jerker, which was sad, and WrestleMania was the Universal title, which was pretty poor as well. So really, of every cross brand, and what we had Backlash after that, another one, and that was probably the biggest offender if you ask me. So since the brand split 2.0, we have not had one cross brand show where the WWE Championship was on the line in the main event.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's just unfortunate because it certainly should be, and especially at this pay-per-view event, right? I mean, I know we have great 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. And I know Gabe joining in here late, but as I always been saying, Money in the Bank being the third best, at least for me personally, third best pay-per-view that WWE has behind Royal Rumble, behind WrestleMania. Each and every year seems like it just gets better and better, and I'm certainly going to look forward to this year's 2018 edition of Money in the Bank and the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. But still, with WWE Championship also being on the line, being a last man standing match, having AJ Styles versus Nakamura, all of those things rolled into one definitely should be the main event. Also, as I keep saying each and every year, you definitely should have title matches, whether it's WWE Universal or men and women or Raw and SmackDown's women's titles after said requisite ladder matches, Money in the Bank ladder matches. For that intrigue and unknown, will the person cash in or will they won't? I know it obviously it's not going to happen every year of that person cashing in the same night, but it can. And to even have that element of it happening, you obviously will have to have and should have your title matches after those Money in the Bank ladder matches that they are linked to. So that would behoove WWE to keep that that template, that plan each and every year for Money in the Bank. Have your title matches after. Yes, it's not going to happen every year of a cash-in, but at least for me as a fan individually, I'd certainly be like, oh, could this be a year again for cash-in same night like Ambrose and Kane in the past? So definitely would be interesting in that realm to see if A, WWE title match is the main event, and B, will that person cash in, if it is, of course, a SmackDown superstar that wins the men's Money in the Bank, cash in there. And most are assuming it to be The Miz. So, Gabe, welcome to the show. First off, and what is your interest level, excitement level for Money in the Bank? And since we already went through the card, you can predict how you see fit of the card in the show that is Money in the Bank.
I'm excited for the show, but I don't know why. I'm just a little bit nervous. I feel like whenever there's like an NXT takeover before like a main roster pay-per-view, I always feel like takeover blows it out of the water. But I don't know, because like Money in the Bank is one of my favorite pay-per-views. The Money in the Bank match is one of my favorite kinds of matches. So like I have a feeling that's gonna be like better than last year when Baron Corbin won. But like yeah, I just hope it lives up to expectations of people, I guess. Yeah. I agree with Mark. I think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the championship because we've already had 3 championship matches with AJ Styles walking out as champion. And I just don't see like the point of having Shinsuke Nakamura losing like 4 times, or not losing 4 times, but like not walking out with the title. I think that's all I have to say. Like, I don't have a strong prediction for who's going to win the Money in the Bank matches. I don't really care for the Raw Women's Championship at this point. As long as it's not Nia.
Yeah.
If Carmella wins, I will not watch the rest of the pay-per-view.
I might be with you on that one. I mean,
I'm gonna watch it.
Mark, you're gonna watch regardless, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because Mark, you're not. See, this is something that's a detriment to you and Steve a little bit. You guys are too positive.
Exactly. Carmella, she better not.
Trying to stay.
Hey, whoa. I'm not too positive.
Mark.
I'm not too positive.
I know, Mark. I went to school with you. I sat at the same lunch table with you. I talk to you almost every day. You are too positive. I mean, people can call me too
You
negative.
haven't seen me on my bad days.
Mark.
Okay, all right.
Nobody wants to see. Why would it make sense for Carmella to be Asuka? That's just stupid. That's just
see. Here's the thing with me. I'm gonna be blunt. Whether you like it or not. Whether you think I'm an a-hole, whether you think I'm too negative, whether you think I'm too positive, I'm straight with people. So I'm gonna be blunt regardless, as you can see by any show I've been on. Here's one thing though that I find funny. It's not a matter if Takeover will be better than Money in the Bank. Here's the question: what's gonna be the match of the night at Takeover?
Probably Gargano and Ciampa, for real.
I say Gargano and Ciampa, but
it's always whenever those two are in a match, it's gonna be the match of the night.
That'd probably be the match of the night, but I don't know. Velveteen Dream and Ricochet, that's gonna be.
Oh my god, that's
crazy.
It is. Here's the question: who wins? Gargano or Ciampa?
Ciampa wins this one.
Ciampa, I'd say Ciampa because
I
don't know.
Just
the numbers game, just like
Ciampa's gonna win this one. They're gonna have a third one.
Yeah, but here's what I say: hold off on the third one. See, a lot of people think Ciampa wins, Gargano wins in New Orleans, Ciampa wins in Chicago, where DIY died.
Yeah.
And you have the rubber match in Brooklyn. Hold off on it. Here's what you do. And I'm even challenging NXT right instead. You have Ciampa win on Sunday, and I know it's gonna hurt, but you gotta do it. Have it to the point where Gargano gets carried off on the stretcher again.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
You do not see Gargano for months. He does not compete at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Here's what you do. You have Ciampa challenge Aleister Black, basically championship at TakeOver Brooklyn 4 and win it. Then he feuds with Gargano comes back. You do Gargano and Ciampa 3 for the title. I know the feud doesn't need a title, but how sweet it would be for Gargano to get that title by pinning Ciampa. And you have it during Survivor Series weekend. What happened 2 years ago at Survivor Series weekend?
Yeah, because if they have a third match, it's got to have like some type of something to it. It's going to be the last match, so it's got to be something on the line, like something.
And one more thing. Survivor Series 2016's weekend, TakeOver Toronto, the night they won the Tag Team Championships. How would it be 2 years later during the same weekend, they feud for the NXT Championship and Gargano takes the title? You could say it'd be great Gargano wins Saturday night because that's where DIY died. But I think that it's just a little bit more special if he wins the title from Ciampa in the same weekend where they won the tag team title 2 years earlier.
I swear, Kyrie, your mind's a pot of gold.
I agree.
Your mind is a pot.
This booking is like Adam Blampied minus the sexual harassment.
The fact that you just compared me to Adam Blampied, that makes me feel a special type of way because my sexual harassment, of course. Because that dude his booking skills were top notch.
I agree.
So having me in the same breath it means it's something special to me.
I'm glad I could have a positive impact.
Thanks.
And I was over here being Mr. Positivity, trying to glass half full Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. So I was trying to.
But I don't care about this match either.
Thank you, Louis.
I like Bobby Lashley a lot, but they just not doing it. They doing it in so many ways. Man.
Bobby Lashley gets Sami Zayn into the stalling suplex for 10 minutes, pins him, hugs his three sisters, and walks off into the sunset, never to be seen again.
I wish they would build him. I wish they would start building Bobby Lashley up like a beast, like he used to be.
So what everyone
just don't let him talk anymore because he can't.
Here's the problem with Bobby Lashley. Even when people say, his mic skills improved in TNA, because let's be honest, when he first in WWE, his mic skills were terrible. And they say he improved in TNA on the mic. The problem is I don't watch TNA.
Yeah, that's the problem. No one watches TNA, so no one knows that.
And even if you do turn him heel, Mark, and that's always the be all end all of everyone who's feeling babyface, turn him heel. The problem with Bobby Lashley, even if he is aggressive on the mic or does heel stuff on the mic, he has a voice where that just does not work. I mean,
his voice doesn't fit his body. Dude.
Your name is you're a
bastard.
It's like you're a bastard. Like no, you can't. Kathy, Jessica, Francis, I love you. It's
it's even like Brock Lesnar. Like when he talks, his voice does not fit him. I'm like, dude.
That's why you got Paul Heyman talking.
That's why you got Paul Heyman for that.
Like his voice is not.
Wait, say it again, Kyron. Say it again.
Kathy, Jessica, Francis, I love you. Oh my God, I could be a terrible person sometimes.
You say your name is Finley and you love to fight.
I say your name is Finley and you're a bastard.
A bastard.
He said bastard. He did not say bastard. He did say bastard, but still,
I can hear bastard, but like it was like the zinger was just awful.
Tell me about it.
They doing him wrong right now. I don't know what they're doing Bobby Lashley. I don't know if he got some heat with somebody. I don't know what they're doing, but
it's the same. Like, you go ahead.
Maybe he had like a voice like Braun Strowman, like if he was like deep and like sounded like he could kill you.
Yeah, like when Braun Strowman talks, I'm like, this nigga's like for real.
He's scary.
Yeah, he's about to kill somebody.
And then you just got, I'm Bobby Lashley. I'm 6'5". I was in the army and I can kill you with a stalling suplex.
And then the worst thing is that
you're like, I'm not finished with you.
That is a great impression.
Yes, dude.
You know, I look at it more like it's the same thing. I think a part of me feels like they're punching Bobby on purpose. I mean, remember when Brock first came back? They had him job out to John Cena his first match. But
then look what happened after. He destroyed everybody.
Exactly. And even in that match, he beat the hell out of John Cena throughout the whole match. I think hopefully
the only reason he lost because it was John Cena. That's the only reason he lost.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
Yeah, that was looking back at it now.
Anybody else would have got carried off in a stretcher.
But no one else
like DDTing him on like bare concrete.
That's
and then he comes back and eliminates 2 people.
That's still to me next is Cena's worst defense. And I love John Cena, but I look at it as like you went for a short-term victory, but you got long-term better story booking.
The only the only 2 people that are like actively wrestling in WWE right now from the Nexus are not David Otunga, he's not wrestling. Heath Slater and Daniel Bryan. Actually, nobody cares about Heath Slater, and Daniel Bryan is like feuding over height.
Oh God, Daniel, what are they doing to you? At least he put Daniel Bryan over at SummerSlam.
That's good. Yeah, and then they buried him like 5 minutes later.
But when you're going against God and Triple H, no one, as OTR Central says the best, no, the Breakfast Club is not about we, it's about me. And no one does the me game better than the game of. So, I mean, it's Triple H. I'm more surprised when Triple H does lose cleanly.
I mean, Daniel Bryan's gonna be straight though. He's Daniel Bryan, so he's in a good position in his career where he's gonna be fine.
Absolutely, he can lose. He can keep losing, and he's just so over with the crowd, and he can lose, and he never lose his popularity.
That's true.
He's gonna be fine. Yeah, he's gonna be fine no matter what feud he's in. They're just doing this right now because eventually, I think they're gonna do.
But he never signed a new contract.
I think they're gonna do him and AJ Styles at SummerSlam. That's what I think.
But yeah, Mark, he hasn't. That's why they're very hesitant on what they're doing with him right now because
that's what I heard too.
They don't want to start getting long. Like I said with the Miz, with the Miz winning Money in the Bank, like I said earlier. Yeah, you can get the long term stuff with him and Daniel, but they don't want to do that, and then Daniel doesn't resign. So long term, they like I always say, don't got book long term. The short term,
they're gonna build that up for WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, Malik already said that, man. I'm just saying, like, long-term booking, I always agree with, but you never know what short-term thing can hurt that, whether it be injury. And Daniel has not, as far as I've heard, he has not committed to WWE, so they're not doing anything special with him yet. And while I'm kind of disappointed they're not, I completely understand why they're not. I mean, he hasn't committed.
I can't lie. I ain't got a problem with him going to like New Japan or something. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't watch New Japan, so that does not.
I haven't like actually like sat through a full New Japan match.
Yeah, I
just watched the last pay-per-view they had, so I definitely fine with him going to
the only New Japan match I ever sat through was Styles and Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom 10. And I mean, what I want to watch, I want to watch New Japan. When I hear Meltz over there creaming his jeans, giving Omega Okada with 7 stars, did he give the last match? Come on.
The Omega and Okada match was really good though. I
don't doubt that.
Long though. It's just super long.
I don't doubt that,
It's
Malik.
an hour
But
too long.
like I mean, you're bringing your rating scale for, and like I said, I don't take Meltzer's 5-star ratings as gospel. I mean,
I take it as with a grain of salt, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I stand by the fact there are so many WWE matches he didn't give 5 stars that I would have given 5 stars.
I don't even listen to that dude, bro.
I mean, I do respect him in a way because he does know, like, he is not some idiot.
He's not an idiot. He's definitely not an idiot, but I don't listen to him.
But it's certain matches. I mean, he's only given all time I hit the only WWE matches he's given 5 stars were
CM Punk and John Cena.
CM Punk and John Cena. The ladder match at Takeover New Orleans, Gargano and Champ at New Orleans, Gargano and Almas, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match, Bret Hart and Owen Hart Steel Cage, the ladder match WrestleMania 10, and Austin and Bret at WrestleMania 13. And am I forgetting anyone? I think that's it. So he's only given about 8 or 9 WWE matches 5 stars. And there are a lot of WWE matches I personally would have given 5 stars. Hell, Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25 should have gotten 5 stars.
Yeah, Dan Matha's NXT debut.
If he ain't put Shawn Michaels Undertaker in there, he on some crack or something.
I mean, he did give that Hell in a Cell match 5 stars, but still.
Kurt Hawkins versus Tyler Rex, WWE Superstars.
Oh God.
6 stars.
No, I'm joking.
6 stars.
Man. I mean, I could definitely see Gargano and Champ, but knowing the storyline those two can pull off, and I think that's gonna get a 5-star rating.
I think Aleister Black. I would have given Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream a 5-star. Honestly, I don't know.
Nobody was expecting that.
Yeah, me neither. But I don't think I'd give it 5 stars. I'd probably give it like 4. I mean, because I'm not lenient with 5-star ratings for a match. I mean, even in my reviews, I don't give matches A pluses because for me to give a match, I've never given any match an A plus because to get an A plus, you have to be perfect in every way, and I've never seen any match that perfect to get an A plus.
What about Ciampa Gargano?
See, that's the closest one. But even then, I mean, at points it was a little slow, a little bit to the point where I can't give it an A plus.
Yeah, the pacing was like a little wavy. But it was just like, and at some points, it just felt like spot after spot.
And don't get me wrong, Gargano and Champ is my favorite match of the year so far.
Same.
But I mean, even the North American Championship ladder match, I wouldn't give an A plus because there was not enough story there to give it an A plus.
There was no story. It was just Ricochet's debut and EC3's debut, and there wasn't even rivalries.
No, and neither one of them won. I mean, I'm glad Adam Cole won because I want either him or Velveteen Dream to win. But I wouldn't even give that an A plus. Like even Shawn Michaels and Undertaker WrestleMania 25, in my opinion, the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. I would not give an A plus because it had that one cameraman botch that could have killed the Undertaker, and that's something I can't let go of. So even that match, I wouldn't give an A plus.
Another question I got for the panel here that has to do with rumors for Money in the Bank. Is anybody subscribing to the rumor of James Ellsworth showing up at Money in the Bank?
I'm taking that with a grain of salt. If he actually does return, I don't know how I'm going to feel about the product.
If he comes back, he's going to help Carmelo win. That's only.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like if it's true, he's going to distract Asuka or something. I don't like James Ellsworth. I don't want to see him back at all.
I mean, I think he's a cool person.
Ellsworth is a legend. Come on.
Don't start with me. And I mean, he's a great person. But like I said before, I don't care how good of a person you are I don't like your character or your in-ring work. You know why they would do it? I mean, I don't know if he'll be there. But if he's there, you know why they would do it? How did Carmelo win the Money in the Bank ladder match last year? Money in the Bank.
Ellsworth?
Yeah, the women's Money in the Bank match was won by a dude.
So what would they say?
Redo it again a week later.
Yeah, they tried to redo it, but they weren't. Yeah, but they didn't. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if just because of some sick tradition, and because once again Vince does not trust Asian superstars, that he would have Carmella win thanks to James Ellsworth. I mean, I'll be honest. Even though I was shocked and a little bit disappointed that Charlotte beat Asuka, she's legitimate enough.
I agree.
She's legitimate enough for me to say, you know what? I could see that happening. But if Carmella beat Asuka, that's when I'm gonna probably rant.
It's like Nikki Bella beating Asuka.
I mean, she nearly beat in the Royal Rumble. And that would have really not gone well.
That would have been like dangerous. especially since it was in like Philadelphia.
There's only a couple people that I can really see beating Asuka. Carmelo's not on that list though.
The only people I can see beating Asuka was Charlotte, Ronda Rousey, and who else? Maybe
Roman Reigns.
Well, that don't count. That don't count. That don't count. Roman Reigns would probably beat Hogan in his prime. Nah, Hogan will pull too many strings for that.
Nah,
I don't want to lose to a smaller guy, brother.
They push Roman Reigns so hard. I ain't surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
And the funny thing is, I don't even hate Roman Reigns. I don't hate him.
I don't either.
I mean, the only thing of Reigns, I just hate WWE's agenda with him. That's what I hate. I mean, when I see the way he went, like, for example, I mean, the one Roman Reigns thing that really angered me, and I'm not even going to go to Royal Rumble, either of the Royal Rumbles, was Extreme Rules 2016 against AJ Styles. Dude was hit with a phenomenal forearm, a Styles clash on a chair, beating the death with a chair, hit with another phenomenal forearm, and a 450, and he kicked out of all, like a one spear, put AJ Styles down. I was so angry at that one.
No, the one time I lost it from Reigns when they made him do that magical beam promo against Big Show. I about lost my fucking mind.
The first time they handed him a mic, like on that episode of SmackDown.
Oh God, don't go there. Don't go there. We know where you're going. Don't go there.
So some of his promos weren't always bad to me, but that one right there, when he did that one, I was like, yeah, this.
And that's why I do feel a little sorry for him. I mean, how would you feel if you're Roman Reigns, not comfortable on the mic yet, and you get a line that says, and you get a script that says you are a sniveling little sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
And then you wink at the camera. Like, who are you talking to? Who are you winking at? Who is that targeted to?
I mean, and
I don't
then
know why they did Roman like that. I don't know why they made him do that magical beam promo. Still to this day, I don't understand.
That made it worse.
I don't know why he agreed to it.
He said, "Wham bam, thank you, ma'am." Like I lost it.
Oh
not in a good way. I didn't lose it in a good way. I like just lost all faith in everything.
Oh
honestly, when he was having that promo with John Cena and he froze up and John Cena started tearing into him, I felt bad.
Well, that was throwing a sheep. That was throwing a sheep against a wolf. I mean, same thing about Cena, but Reigns, even though I say Reigns improved on the mic, he can't hang with John Cena on the microphone.
He's just like, first of all, you suck, and then 10-second pause. It was
when he first paused, I thought he was kind of letting the crowd get into it, but then
I was like,
he wouldn't say nothing. He wasn't saying anything for a while. I was like, oh.
No, then you look at his face. He's like, oh shoot, well, I forgot my line.
And then John just had to sneak in that ad-lib line. It's called a promo, kid. If you want to be the big dog, you gotta learn to do it.
Shut your mouth, John.
Bro, hold on, what did John? Hold on.
I honestly shed a tear for him right there, man. I feel
it was 2 lines.
I swear, I had to sweat there.
You know,
it was
a tear for you that day, Roman.
It was 2 lines John really ended them with. It was 2 different weeks. The first was the first week when he said, "Cause you should be ashamed of my part-time. Because I can do this better part-time. You could ever do it full-time." And then I said, okay, he's already in a coffin. And then the next week, John just put the foul nail in him when he said, "And no mercy, you picture me like a drug test, Holmes. You ain't gonna pass me." I said, just stop. It's over for Roman. It's over.
A couple times it looked like Roman was gonna like just break down in tears. He looked actually like genuinely embarrassed.
Honestly, no. If I was Roman Reigns, I'd just hit that nigga with a spear. I'm sorry.
I'd have had to spear him. I mean, there's nothing you can do after that.
I embarrassed him, bro. You gotta spare him. I gotta do something, bro. You ain't about to embarrass me like that.
Especially in the promo that Karen Chase was referencing earlier with Roman Reigns and John Cena when John Cena was talking about cutting a promo and stuff like that. I think that was supposed to get under Reigns, fire under his belly sort of thing. John Cena's trying to actually help him out in midst of dissing him in said promo. And then you saw Roman trying to come back, and it just didn't come back as much punch that it kind of was supposed to, at least to me. But we were talking about, and we always do keep talking about, Roman Reigns. We're worried or thinking that there is any chance that a Roman Reigns Jinder Mahal match will main event this Money in the Bank because Roman Reigns is in it. Well, how about this flip side? Do any of you think that there's a chance in heck that Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey will be the main event of this show? Because
I was telling Ramble that
because Ronda Rousey is in the match, and her being a big name.
If she didn't main event WrestleMania,
I was saying that last night.
If she didn't main event WrestleMania with Stephanie McMahon, Kurt Angle, and God, you think she's really gonna main event Money in the Bank with Nia Jax?
Should they? I don't.
Because
nobody knows how the outcome's gonna be in the match. You don't know we don't know who's.
I don't think they're gonna put Nia Jax in the main event.
I don't trust Nia Jax in the main event. I mean,
be a star.
That was god awful. I mean, that was so bad. Then the funny thing, she started bullying the enhancement talent in front of Ronda. Like,
oh yeah.
Didn't you preach this anti-bullying agenda, push it down our throats and backlash?
And then they made her a bully. Yeah, that's just how the world works.
I mean,
that's not going to be the main event. It'll be one of the ladder matches, obviously. But I wouldn't be surprised that's the main event. I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
I'm being serious. The only two matches I see main eventing are Styles Nakamura or the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Those are the only two matches I will accept main eventing. Anything other than those two matches, I'm gonna have a problem.
I swear, Styles Nakamura.
Looking at this card, I don't see any matches on the card that I really would be like pissed off or ranting on Twitter or anything if I actually main evented. Like all the matches on the card, at least the main card, because the SmackDown Live Take Your Title match is on the pre-show, so that's already canceled.
Reigns and Mahal.
I don't see any match on the card, at least for me, to be a match of I would be upset main eventing. Though if I had to pick one, since everybody's picking one that they don't want seeing main event. For me, a match that I don't want to see main event being the Intercontinental Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Elias. It would be a good match, but I don't think it's good enough to be deserved.
That better be the first.
Main event.
I wouldn't kick off with that match. I kick off the women's Money in the Bank ladder match because you want to separate those two matches as far away from each other as possible. Here's what. See, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't see it main event, but I wouldn't mind Rollins and Elias main event because let's be honest, it's a top title on Raw. With the most over guy on Raw, with one of Raw's best heels. I mean, it shouldn't be in the main event. I would put it. I would put that. Here's how I would break down. Here's how I would have the card structure. Start off with the women's Money in the Bank. Then after that, you're gonna need a palate cleanser. So that's where you do. That will probably be Bryan and Cass. Then after that, I would do. Then I would do the IC title match. Then after that, I do Asuka and Carmella. Then I do the so you gotta have a good match later, but there's no other matches I would say are great after that. I do the tag team title match after that. Lashley and Zayn after that. The Reigns Jinder Mahal, Nia Jax Ronda, Styles Nakamura, men's Money in the Bank. That's how I would structure the card because in Chicago, you can't have matches they don't care about back to back to back. It's gonna kill the crowd, and the crowd's gonna kill the show. So you want to have a good structure where it doesn't anger anybody. Because to be honest, if Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal goes on after Styles and Nakamura, it's gonna kill the rest of the show.
Yep.
Well, they ain't gonna put that as the main event because people are just gonna leave again. So that match will be in the mid card.
If they leave again, then yeah, WWE's fucked.
I tell you what,
honestly, they can start the show off with that match. I'd be fine with that. Just so people can't leave.
But you want to stop. But Malik, you want to start the show with a match that's gonna get the crowd high. That match ain't getting the crowd high.
You never know.
I'm looking at this card right now, and I'm thinking like a lot of like these matches are kind of dangerous, just like considering the location. Like if they have the wrong outcome with Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass, if Big Cass wins, if Roman Reigns wins, or if Jinder Mahal wins, that's a lose-lose situation. I don't think anyone.
I don't know, hey guys. I mean,
Jinder Mahal wins. That's a great thing.
If Carmella wins, if Nia Jax wins, like in Chicago,
you can't have Ronda win though.
But here's the problem with Ronda winning. Like I said earlier, is that
both winning the championships in their titles. You have Asuka and Ronda Rousey both going after SmackDown Live Women's and Raw Women's championships. And I think it would be best for WWE to build this credibility to their championship reigns. That is Nia Jax and Carmella that people are putting on to have them retain the championship here at Money in the Bank. Whether or not they're going to drop it at SummerSlam, and some of us and maybe Gabe and others see this down the line, Asuka and Rousey both or one of them winning the championship at SummerSlam. Okay, maybe. But here at Money in the Bank, and even subsequently in the next pay-per-view between this and SummerSlam, which is I forget the name of it, but Extreme Rules. And anyways, I think it would be best to have Nia Jax and have Carmella successfully retain. However, by hook or by crook, by DQ, by whatever, Ellsworth coming in for the SmackDown Live one, Natalya coming in for the Raw Women's, you're kind of booking both matches the same way. I don't give a crap. Fine, do it that way. But in the end of the day, you have Carmella, and you have Nia Jax leaving Chicago, Illinois, leaving the Midwest here, in my country here, up here in the Midwest, leaving the Raw and SmackDown Live Women's Champion. And whether or not you're going to have Asuka or Ronda Rousey win the championships at SummerSlam or whenever, that's fine. That's forward booking. That's future booking. But for right now, as in short term, as in Money in the Bank, I think it is best to have both of them win at Money in the Bank. Have a little more casualty to the championship reigns with a win against Asuka and Ronda Rousey by however it happened. Still hold on to the championships. I think that would be best for Nia Jax, best for SmackDown Live and Raw Women's Division, and best for the outcome for each individual match at Money in the Bank.
You see, that's why I disagree and say it's best for the divisions. I think what's best for the divisions have two of their most legit performers in the ring being champion. I think that for Raw, it's Ronda. Well, it's not Ronda, but I take Ronda Rousey being champion, or even how I had or Natalya taking the title in a cash-in over Nia Jax. And I'll take Asuka. I'm pretty sure everyone on the panel other than you, Steve, would take Asuka being champion over with Carmella.
Absolutely.
I just like.
Even though Carmella's my wife, I love Carmella, but she don't need to be champion.
That's Steve's, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Well, my wife.
It's all right. I can have my other wife who over on Raw, Alexa Bliss.
Well, my wife is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. She ain't, and sadly, they won't give it to her, even though she deserves it.
The thing about like the Raw Women's Championship matches, like personally, like I hate disqualification like endings. I think it's a cop out ending for like potentially like really good matches. But like I don't know, like in my opinion, the Raw Women's Championship match with Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey's like the result is a dilemma. There's no good ending in my opinion, because if Ronda wins, it's like only her second televised match ever. And if Nia Jax wins, and she's still the champion. So like I don't know, and like disqualification endings are not good, but like I don't see if they're gonna continue with this like random like Nia Jax becoming a bully thing. I guess a disqualification ending makes sense, considering we've already seen Ronda put her in the armbar and her tapping out,
which was stupid.
Yeah, why did they do that Raw before Money in the Bank? That was like the one part. That was the one thing that like had like a thing like that was the one part of like the rivalry that was like had you like that was interesting, yeah. And then you eliminate that. It's like when Baron Corbin got rolled up, like right before SummerSlam, which eliminated like a possible interesting outcome. But like that again, another dilemma there. Baron Corbin as champion. If we're having like that's like going from one boring guy to another as champion. So
well, I mean, let's be honest. Baron Corbin that cashed in and stopped the Jinder Mahal and not the more stuff. We wouldn't have got those racist Japanese promos. So I would consider that a win. And I agree. I mean, you could have. I wouldn't even have the two even had that confrontation. At the most, a brawl that gets broken up. But the minute Nia was locked in the armbar and didn't get out, I mean, you couldn't have her get out either because, she gets out, then that shows she got out of it. If she tapped, what she did, that shows, well, what's that going to, that instantly breaks the aura of everything. So they were going to lose. The minute Nia was locked in the armbar, it was a lose-lose.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like when Rollins and Ambrose like put the fists together like before SummerSlam, and that was like a moment that everyone was waiting for at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I agree with. Like I said that one too. I mean, they should have just kept the tension because once they did the fist bump on Raw, I didn't believe there would be much tension at SummerSlam, and there wasn't.
It's like if the Hardys like at WrestleMania 33. It's like if the Hardys returned like the Raw before Mania instead.
Or if they showed them backstage, that night.
Yeah, like if they were to do that and that would like kill all the suspense, ruin that moment of them returning at Mania.
I mean, it would have saved my voice, but that's
true.
That's a I'll take.
I wonder if I would have only cried out after one match if they had ruined that moment though.
It's funny because
Taker retired. Or not
yeah,
retire,
we thought.
And then you got like the fake 2D lightning on screen like at WrestleMania, and then like a squash match where John Cena gets squashed in like 3 minutes.
I can bring up the exact problems with that, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for a little bit.
Yeah.
Man. The funny thing is, like when you brought the Hardys, the funny thing is they didn't even get to the arena at WrestleMania 33. So I think like the third match in, they did their best to hide the fact that they were gonna be there.
Yeah.
Even though it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, like them vacating the Ring of Honor title, I guess. Like the tag titles when they won them. It's obvious, but like it was really like feel good. And I think like the New Day, like when the New Day like announced there's a fourth member, and like nobody thought it was going to be the New Day, just because like everyone was chanting delete, and New Day was walking so slowly. If they had started walking like quickly and like dropped all like their entrance attire, like their hats and like the trombone, and just like walked down into the ring like with like at least like a little bit of a quicker pace to get people saying, okay, well it's the New Day, and then have like the Hardys music hit. That would have been a lot better.
They were so still though. It was kind of obvious.
The New Day was just like it's like they were teasing it. It's like they were like, oh, it's not us, guys.
They said they're the 14 edges match, and they took like one small step, and that's when the Hardy Boys music hit. They wanted to build the suspense right. I mean, I know it was like a 80-yard ramp, but what they could have done is have New Day, like that, drop all their props, move fast, wait till they were at the 40-yard mark of the ramp, and then have the Hardy Boys music hit.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
You know, for me, I would have had them walking all the way almost up to the ring, and as they start going up the steps one by one, then the Hardy Boys music hit. Like something like that, where you're already, you know, decided the fact, oh, it probably will be the New Day. Oh, I guess we won't get the Hardys. That sucks, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's a long walk down, right? And they're not going fast. They are going slow. And
it's like how they stalled.
I think that's what would have been the best, at least for me.
It's like how they stalled like the John Cena versus Undertaker moment by so much by having like 2 other moments like before them. Like the Elias thing, John Cena walking down the ramp like twice.
And walking past Charlotte.
And then boom, there's lightning, guys. It's real lightning. We didn't add it in post.
I mean, I still stand by the fact that I see what they did and understood why they did it. But I would have rather had seen Cena in the audience the whole show. And instead of getting what we got. I mean, imagine seeing John Cena of all people in the audience the whole show. I think that probably would have been better. Just seeing him react. Just imagine
a long show though.
It saved them a lot of camera cuts. Because like they kept cutting to Cena just like blank staring like a potato.
Look, that's just too long of a show. Obviously people aren't stupid. They knew the match was gonna happen. You ain't gonna tease the match and not have the match. We knew the match was gonna happen.
I just thought it was like hilarious. What if John had stayed in and this would have got him major heat with Vince, but I don't think he really cares. What if John had been in the crowd the whole night, and when it got to the main event, when everyone was chanting everything about Roman, and John had been joining the chants, like when they started chanting CM Punk, and John would have started it too. Don't act like you wouldn't have been laughing at that.
If John Cena started the CM Punk chants,
don't act like you wouldn't have laughed.
I'd love that. That'd be amazing. Vince would get like mad, and John would be like, "What are you gonna do? Fire me?"
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
Brock would have whooped his ass though. He'd have been mad as fuck.
Technically, John could have sued Brock though because he was a fan there.
Oh yeah, true.
It wasn't on the card. It wasn't on the card that night, son.
Yeah, technicality.
Oh man, I would
love technicality promo.
Oh, no.
Here's a question I do want to bring up here since he was just rambling here on the Ramble. Dean Ambrose, my guy, and former WWE champion Dean Ambrose. When are you guys seeing him coming back, and what do you think will be in the card?
I forgot all about that nigga, to be honest. He's been gone
for a minute.
What's a Dean Ambrose?
Here's what's gonna happen.
He need to come back as a heel. I don't want to hear nothing else.
We're gonna take
He's going to come back after Seth and Elias had done their feud at the Extreme Rules, turn heel. He and Seth are gonna feud for the IC title and have a match at SummerSlam.
There you go.
Yeah.
Vince, just call me. Vince, just call me.
Just give me the
call, Vince. You might need me.
Triple H would hire you.
Oh, because Triple H knows what the hell he's doing.
That's why NXT is so much better than the main roster right now.
He's in Stamford, Connecticut for an interview to be part of whether Raw or SmackDown running staff.
Only thing Vince need to do is get that damn title off Lesnar. That's the only thing he need to do. Okay.
The only thing Vince needs to do is die. I mean, no, I'm joking. That's That's
Okay.
too far.
That's too more. That's too more.
I'm joking. That's not like get the title off Brock Lesnar. Honestly, if someone, that's the thing. I don't think someone from Raw. I don't.
Just think if he actually retains at SummerSlam, holds it all the way to WrestleMania.
Dude, if he has it to WrestleMania next year, I'm gonna lose my mind.
If he like beats Bruno Sammartino's record for like title record,
8 years as champion.
Damn.
That's
gosh.
Honestly, he should have just dropped it to Roman. Like, just give the belt to Roman, please.
Yeah, we were all just like, whatever, it's gonna be Roman, whatever. And then like, and then it's like Brock Lesnar, like, okay, all right, it'll be Roman the next show.
No.
And then it was Brock Lesnar, like again.
I don't know. I don't know who else going to be. Honestly, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it may be John Cena for real.
It's not. It's gonna be Roman in SummerSlam.
I don't know though. I'm not thinking that. I think it could be John Cena for real.
And Cena to break that record at WrestleMania.
Cena break that record at SummerSlam, and then just drop the belt to whoever fucking needs it, because he's not gonna have the belt. He's not gonna have the belt that long. But
just think about with John Cena, the whole tie-in still with Total Bellas and everything there. You know, WWE sometimes has their storylines associated with the belt. Well, there's otherwise, and others women that are part of that show. You know, and we talk about the biggest thing there being the relationship with Nikki and John and breakup and whatever. Was it not work? Was it not?
It was a work. Like I said, it was a work. And
it was definitely a work. It was for Total Bellas viewership.
Who actually watches that reality TV show stuff, which is not
you watch that reality TV show every week.
I put it. It's not reality. It's fake.
I know.
Fake isn't Raw.
When I first heard John saying Nikki
Bella, that's better than Raw.
Total Bella is better than Raw.
Probably is, because Raw's been got off. I don't watch it. But when I first heard the report off No DQ, John Cena and Nikki Bella reportedly broken up, I was like, oh man, that's sad. I mean, I wish they'd been better for him. Then John got on Good Morning Today. Good Morning America, Good Morning Today. And I'm like, hold up. What? And then they started advertising. But here's what really told me it was a work. Mm-hmm. When they advertised it in the trailer for the new season of Total Bella, I said, it's a work. It's a work. I mean, I would say it's tasteless of WWE to use a real life romance like that. But let's be honest, they've done. I mean, that's tame compared to everything else they've done. But I'll be honest, and this comes from a diehard John Cena fan. If they hadn't break Ric Flair's record for the sole purpose to advertise Total Divas and Total Bellas, that's where I'm gonna get so angry. It's gonna be ridiculous. Because trust me, I would like to see John Cena break the record. I feel like what he's done for the company, he might deserve it. But for one, if they only do it just to advertise Total Bellas, then that's a slap in the face, spit in the face to the championship, a spit in the face to Ric Flair, and a spit in the face to John Cena.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it really matters, to be honest, for real. I mean,
it doesn't, Malik, but it also is like, this is one of those. I mean, even though Flair's record was more than 16, but it's 16. That's what it's reported. It's one of the most famous records. That's famous.
First off, Ric Flair got more than 16 world titles. So
I just said that.
He got like 23.
It's like 20 something. But the record is reported 16, so that's what I'm going with. It's the one record everyone said wouldn't be broken. The record is never going to be broken. The Fabulous Moolah's 10-year reign with the WWE title, that would never be broken. But and Bruno's the second. But if the record, people say, oh, it won't be broken. But now John's one away. Well, he's already tied it. Now he's one away from breaking it. That if they're gonna have him do it, get it. It has to be a big stage and a big moment. Heck, here's what I would do, and people can say at this point it doesn't matter. But let's run off what I said about John Cena and the Miz and Daniel Bryan. Daniel's title of WrestleMania. John challenged for the title of SummerSlam next year, which would be 6 years after they headlined SummerSlam the first time. And knowing Daniel Bryan's the most loved person in WWE, let's say we turn John Cena heel to get it.
That would never happen.
It wouldn't, but let's be honest. Like Adam Blampier said, everyone wanted a John Cena heel turn so bad, but they wanted too much. They thought just like Hogan's heel turn, it would the wrestling industry needed to be great again. So in order to make it a real heel turn, to give it real heel heat, you got to give the fans something they really don't want. And no one will want to see them.
They're never gonna do it because Vince McMahon does not look at John Cena as a heel. He just don't.
I agree. They're not gonna do it. I'm just saying that'd be the best way to do it.
I honestly, I would like. I could put myself if that happened. I would put myself in like the kid's position because I grew up with John Cena and that was like my idol. So like, if I like the kids would be so mad. They'd be so crushed.
The kids would be heartbroken.
I think the best chances they had to turn Jonathan Hill was they could have had him align himself with the Nexus and turned him heel that way and made him a leader at Nexus. Or
they could have turned him heel when he was facing The Rock. That's what it was perfect time right there.
They were actually considering doing that, but no.
No, he was already heel when he was burying Zack Ryder.
How did he bury him?
I don't know. It wasn't even John Cena that buried him. Let's be honest. It was that storyline. It was the storyline, the whole thing.
See, it's like I always say. WWE looks at you and say, if we didn't get in time for you to get over, it doesn't matter. I mean, let's look at it. Rusev, one that was got most over guy in WWE, they did nothing with him. Wade Barrett, when Bad News Barrett got over, because
Rusev could win Money in the Bank. Though, what if he wants Money in the Bank?
He's not going to.
He could though. He's a favorite.
He's not going to. I stand by. Should have won it.
You don't know that he's a favorite to me. I definitely see him win.
I won't be shocked if he won it.
I wouldn't be shocked if he won it either. I said he was going to win a couple weeks ago.
Then again, if they won the year show, you have him and Lana win both briefcases.
Okay,
cool. Power couple.
If Lana wins the Money in the Bank, I'm gonna really rant, and it's gonna really. I stand by the fact that I'm sick of it. Even with this women's revolution they talk about, they still let women who are that's what we want to look for, not the best in ring, and who are big on total divas. They let them get the big pushes. Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Nia Jax. Now Lana.
Think about it like this, bro. Think about it like this. Once you start seeing those familiar faces, though, like Sasha Banks continuously winning and winning, don't you think it will start getting repetitive to some people, and they won't get the same vibe?
I felt like that when they kept having to go back with her and Charlotte, bro. I was like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Mark, I got 2 words to combat that. Alexa Bliss.
Oh, nothing wrong with Alexa Bliss at all.
Nope, not
that's the most. You just completely went back on what you said. You said how don't you think having they did. You said don't you think how having people go back and forth winning will get on people's nerves? But Alexa's a 4-time women's champion, and it definitely got on a lot of people.
Bro. What? I wasn't being like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with Alexa. I was just being funny because it's Alexa Bliss we're talking about.
I am a part of the mindset. I ain't tired of Alexa Bliss. I admit that.
She had the belt for a minute too.
And when I really saw Alexa Bliss was when she ended Sasha's title reign after 2 weeks. That's when I saw Alexa Bliss. And I agree to a point with saying, all right, Sasha might get Mark. Are you at a basketball game?
Playing 2K. He playing 2K.
Yeah, I'm playing 2K.
Dang, eat the TV.
It is just a controller, bro.
Oh yeah. I'm just a part of the mindset of people that I still say and you can say whatever that WWE says they're going in one direction with the women's revolution, but it feels like they still are still in the same gear of pushing the women who are visually more attractive than the women who are better in ring, i.e. Alexa Bliss,
is very true.
i.e. Carmella. Or women that's on Total Divas, Nia Jax. I mean, let's be honest.
That is so true.
Hey, look at Lana, for instance. Lana is in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but yet the Iconics aren't.
I want a Ruby Riott in there.
Ruby Riott too, for crying out loud. I mean, here's who I would have put in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I would have done both Iconics, Becky, Naomi. I would have had Sasha. I would have had Bayley. I had Ruby, and I had Ember.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was
Iconics.
You said what?
Talking about the Iconics. I mentioned this earlier. Did you guys watch SmackDown?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but that segment that they had is by far the funniest thing I've seen.
I ain't seen it yet. I'll probably check it out.
It was like one of those like awkward, funny, cringy kind of moment.
No, that's every iconic thing. That's like their gimmick. They do like awkward funny.
It's that action that has.
You know what kind of annoyed me?
What?
The opening segment of Raw. Because hold up, I mean, first they saw me like, have we ever seen a show open up like this? I'm like, yeah, you did 2 years ago before the Money in the Bank ladder match. You did the exact same thing, and it was funny.
Discussion on top of ladders.
And it was funny. It was funny when they did it 2 years ago because you had Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho. I mean, Appleton is still hilarious. You had Dean Ambrose, Alberto, Sammy, and Cesaro. You only had 6 men. as opposed to 8 people. And I'll be honest, I find that segment still hilarious. Whether it be Chris, Dean, or Kevin, it still had me in tears. Then you had Teddy Long coming right after that. Then he tried to do that segment again, and man, did it fall flat. The only person that actually looked good during that segment on Monday was Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he was funny.
He definitely irritated some people listening. If you listen to what he said, he was like, "Let's talk about something more important or something."
Yeah, that was good. That was good for like.
I was like, oh.
Or when he looked at Bobby Roode and said, "Yes, Bobby, that's a good idea."
Yeah, but when you look at what they did 2 years ago, when you had, for example, when Chris said, "Oh, this is my match. I invented the Money in the Bank ladder match." Cesaro, but Chris, if this is your match, why haven't you won a Money in the Bank match?
Ooh,
I won one. I won when? The first one. 6th one. Where was it? Apple. The Appleton, the Big Apple. He said it was a stupid Idiotville. Oh, you mean your hometown? That was mad funny. But the one on Monday, it definitely had a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
They had the same thing happen like twice within that one segment. They had Alexa Bliss scream to interrupt everyone, and then not even like 2 minutes later, Braun Strowman did the exact same thing, and then his music started playing.
I'm just waiting for Braun and Alexa Bliss to finally hook up. I need to hook up already.
But when Braun did it, it was hilarious. When Alexa did it, it was ear grating.
Yeah, I think I got tinnitus from that.
And it was also interesting with the interaction with the Mixed Match Challenge partners, right? Alexa Bliss predicting and saying, "Oh, I already know who's going to win for the men's." Braun Strowman.
Rest in peace, Buddy Murphy.
Thanks, saying Finn Balor. So those little interactions there, I actually like that kind of continuity continue with those Mixed Match Challenge partners, because Bliss and Braun, Team Little Big, was, at least for me, my favorite team for that series and that event, because that was pretty interesting and pretty awesome. For what the Mixed Match Challenge was obviously being.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, the only things on Raw I really like, the 2 fatal 4-way matches were great. Bayley and Ruby Riott was good, but other than that, I thought Raw, it was garbage. SmackDown didn't watch it.
Speaking of Raw, I have like kind of a sad statistic. The Universal Championship's only been around for like not even 2 years, and Brock Lesnar has been champion for about half of that tenure. Like,
wow.
We've had a combination of Finn Balor's reign, Kevin Owens' reign, and Goldberg's reign. They together have only held the title like not even half as long as Brock Lesnar's held it.
Well, Finn held it for a day. Kevin held it from August to March, and Goldberg held it for about 4 or 5 weeks. Brock's been champion for over a year.
Yeah, we got Finn Balor with 1 day, Kevin Owens with 188, Goldberg with 28, and then Brock Lesnar with 438 and counting.
Oh my gosh! And then the funny thing about
I don't even care anymore, bro. I'm just waiting for him to lose the belt so we can move on from that.
I don't even think. I think they're gonna move on. I think they just wanted to hold it so they would so Brock Lesnar would beat CM Punk's record. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not the same title.
Yeah, true. But it's still like a world championship record. Ric Flair didn't win like the WWE championship a bunch of times, and was it like 17 times?
He held the WWE championship twice.
Yeah.
Most of them world champions were NWA and WCW.
And they're still counting I don't have a problem with it, but that's what they're calling the record.
I mean, you want to be specific. The longest title reign of the modern era is Asuka.
True. With the NXT Women's Championship.
And don't be surprised if Brock Lesnar passed that one up either. He might get that one too.
I can just imagine a match. I remember when intergender matches were a thing. And they were the most uncomfortable thing to sit through when it was just Umaga versus Maria.
Oh yeah.
That
was uncomfortable.
Dude, I remember
Big Show versus Stephanie McMahon.
Those are uncomfortable to sit through. Just a dude beating up a woman really slow pace. I
remember when they had when they did Umaga versus Maria, and he did that thing where he put her against the ropes and he squashed her, man. I was like, holy shit.
Those matches are very uncomfortable.
You want to try uncomfortable? Try being 3 years old in the audience, seeing Vince McMahon choke his daughter out with a pipe.
Oh yeah,
I like that. I like that type of stuff though. That makes it interesting to me.
It does to a certain extent.
That's
the shock factor, and then you look back at it. It's like the Katie Vick thing. We
don't bring that one up.
that one was different, but it's like I don't know, like when Chris Jericho punched out Michael's wife, I was like, holy shit, and he really punched her too. Like
he really did.
Punched her in the mouth.
Rebecca didn't move out the way in time. He really got Rebecca in the mouth.
I was like, when that happened, I was like, I liked it. I wasn't like, oh my god. I was like, bro, that's like. That makes you like I want to like Shawn Michaels to kick his ass now. Like, bro, Shawn Michaels gotta kick his ass now.
See, that's why I think NXT. I really think kind of missed the boat when I still think when Chapman and Candice LeRae had that promo when Johnny wasn't there, he should have slapped her. I mean, Candice wouldn't have a problem with it. I mean, she's wrestled guys, but they can't let that hurt the PG image.
Yeah.
But I think that even for just one time, I stand by this match should have been like an I Quit match. And you could have had Champ handcuff Johnny and just hurt Candice LeRae to the point where he quits. I would have done that. But even I admit that.
You could have did the Chavo and Rey Mysterio I Quit match type thing right there.
Yeah.
For the custody of Candice LeRae.
Here I come. I gotta open the door. I'll be right back.
I
mean, they could have did that, but I mean, it all really. The whole PG, WWE, the whole PG, man. I just wish they changed to PG so bad.
Did you do it?
Yeah. Ramble. You have WWE?
It's in the refrigerator. It's in the refrigerator cabinet. No, you take it on.
Hear me?
What'd you say, bro?
So you hopping on WWE with us?
Oh yeah. I'm boy.
We've been on. We already on, bro. We've been on for a minute.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we have been on for a while. I mean, well, me and Steve been on for the longest. I've been there since the beginning. Mark joined in about 10 minutes into it, and everyone else joined in after.
Yeah, we started around 7:30 Central.
I joined in like half an hour after it started, I think, or longer.
Yeah, near the end, or what was going to be the end, near the end there, as we were getting to the main event, predicting for the.
And then it just turned into like a ramble.
It's Ramble, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, so it's all good.
It's a Ramble season, fellas.
Too bad though we didn't have Raunchy. Raunchy Mike was here.
Yeah, I got a text message from him. He told me he couldn't show up because he was spending time with his family and his niece was over there.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get him next week and moving forward. And specifically with Kyron and Mark being done with school, being able to have them each and every week. So we typically have a team here back again, talking WWE each and every week here on this channel, Sports Talk Network, specifically Steve's Wrestling Ramble pay-per-view. For those that haven't yet subscribed, welcome to subscribe. And definitely check out all the channels that are here. So I think this is about a good time to finish. We are rambling on other things going on. I'm sure you guys have things to do as well. So thanks to everybody joining in here. Also, all those that did watch live and those that maybe did comment in the chat. So thank you for that. I welcome to follow me specifically on Twitter at W_podcast. But let others share where they can be found on social media and on YouTube. So let's start with Gabe.
Oh wait, so we're doing the whole social media thing. That's great. I don't have any social. I mean, I have social media, but it's like all personal stuff. But like, yeah, subscribe to my channel. I have no videos up.
Yeah, I noticed that because I just went over there to subscribe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just made this channel like literally last month.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna do a discussion thing like after Money in the Bank, like I guess reviewing that, and I'll continue on from there. So expect some stuff.
Sounds good. I look forward to getting my first email, first notification about your first video because I already subscribed and rang the bell. So
nice.
Yes, sir. Sports Talk Network. I don't know if you get emails when people sub, but that's I did that.
I got that. I saw that. That was good. I like it.
Anyway, so let's move on. Malik, let people know where they can find you on social media and YouTube.
Give me a second. Let me put my camera back on. All right. You can go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Narcolepsy Boy94. I do wrestling reactions, trivia videos. You can subscribe to my Instagram and Twitter, Malik Kelly 94, and that's it.
All right, Mark Ramble.
You guys already know what's going on, man. If you guys
but
aren't
who
familiar,
does
you said what?
What about the people who don't know?
Oh well, now they know. I'm about to tell them. Yeah, of course, you guys could make sure you go subscribe to my channel. That'd be very nice. MFOG Mark Ramble, of course, it's not going to change anytime soon. My Twitter and my Snap and my Insta are all in my description box in my videos. So it'd be easier for all of us because I don't have to talk so long. And you guys can go straight to my video and then watch it and be like, oh, your video's out of ass or it's not. But yeah, go subscribe.
I didn't know if I was dreaming that.
All right, last one, please, Kyron Chase.
Follow me on Instagram, /_Kyron, Twitter, /Kyron, Instagram, Tumblr, and DeviantArt Kyron Chase. YouTube channel is Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling, Sonic the Hedgehog. My other pony trick is Magic, and depending on how tired I am, I might be able to review it Money in the Bank on Sunday night.
All right, and like I was saying earlier, everybody can follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast or my 4 other Twitter handles. The other one I will share is my personal one at Army_Strong_06. Also, obviously, if you want to get subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so when I go live with a video. I will be back, or the next time you'll see me here on this channel, I will be here for Sunday. On Sunday night, I will be doing live reactions to both the men and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. And then after, subsequently, when the pay-per-view was finally over and done for, I will be reviewing it with my quick review. Here on the Ramble. So thanks everybody that watched live or that will be watching archive. You are watching archive. Comment your thought and your own predictions. I'd like to put the Money in the Bank ladder matches as well. So hope you all have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out.
Yep.
Mark.
You.
All right, so we about to hop on this. We about to hop on the WWE right now, bro, because bro can keep blowing my shit up.
Money.